You can always sense that if you're nervous, then it's good, right? If you when you're shooting the movie, if you're really nervous, if this is going to work, then it's you're in the right place. Because when we did the first dogme films, we didn't think anybody was, you know, it's like nobody's going to watch this. It's home videos, so we might as well do whatever we want, and there's really a freedom in that. I mean, because you dare to do something that you wouldn't have done. Biggest thing I learned from her, and I'm not, she will laugh when I say this, it is that don't be afraid of bad taste. Every time I've written something for Susanne, she always wants to put people in a coma, or I mean, throw the character in front of cars, and I'm like, this is too Barbara Cartlandish, we can't do this, you know, we're going to get chased out of the town. And she kept, the first year she kept pushing me and saying, you can do it if you do it well enough. You can do the hardcore melodrama. So and until that, I was sort of a slave of a good taste, that you aren't supposed to do this. And she sort of said, go for it. And that's a great thing to learn. They always ask me, what genre is it? And I say, it's a lot of genres, and they never know how to sell it, you know. And it's also but I truly like that. I like movies myself that I like that, because, you know, genres are also it's a bit boring that we have to put, you know, it's just a sales tool to tell people, are we going to laugh? Are we going to be scared? Are we? So it's nice to mix them up. For me, that whole movie was an experiment to sort of take the collaboration between me and Bier and my other movies to see if I could merge the two worlds together and make it, I mean, to find that balance where you can have emotions and the comedy, like, the elements go together along with action and a couple of other genres. Every time you tend to put people together, people find. I'll tell it another way, because I don't see it as family necessarily. I think I like to portray people that are standing outside our society. I definitely do that, because every character is not normal. And I like to show that you can take all these characters that we wouldn't necessarily say hello to, or that we'd be afraid of in the train, and show them that they actually are human beings, and they can actually coexist within their own community that is not actually, perhaps not part of the big community, but in a separate fantasy community. I like that idea. And I can see that I can see that all my movies somehow does that. It creates a world where there's room for these misfits. I like to see movies where characters are not likable. I mean, I love movies where you are introduced to people that you are not supposed to like, and then during the course of the movie, you actually get to like them. It's about how you find the meaning of life. I mean, when you've lost your marbles, how do you get back to life? And that's I mean, that goes for all the characters in the movies. Have, for instance, they've all lost their families in one way or another, and you have and there's this with, I mean, finding the meaning of existence is that's connections. That's making connections. That, I mean, everyone who's tried to have a depression or being down the black hole knows that what will bring life back to you is when you can connect the dots, when you can, simple connections like you earn money, you're able to provide food for your kids. That's a connection that will sort of make you take one step forward. And so connections are what gives us meaning. And the great thing about connections are that they are the opposite of randomness. And randomness is the big that randomness is what we are trying to avoid, right? Because if everything is random, then it's hard to find any meaning. So it's, and in that sense, for me anyway, the theme actually, there's one umbrella that you can put it all under, even though it has so many themes, is getting back to finding the meaning of life, which is Marcus's journey, and it's also Otto's, and it's all the characters are venturing into that journey. There is something very that keeps fascinating with men. This macho versus softness that I run into it every day almost. It's an ongoing thing, and I don't know why it is, and I don't know if it's I don't think it's a Scandinavian thing. I think a lot of times there are men are confused about their masculine and their emotional side, I think, and it's there's a lot of comedy in that. He's the perfect actor. He is so good. I mean, he's crazy good. For me, he's like De Niro, and I mean, like the best. He can do anything. He's physical. He's a team player. He takes responsibility for the whole movie. If he sees like a small part that isn't performing well, he'll step in and try to help to enhance the performance. And I mean, he can dance. He can do anything. He can do comedy. He can do drama. It's a very, very lucky collaboration, because I could have done these characters without Matt, because he's so much part of them, and I wouldn't have gone that far with any of them. So it's just lucky that we got to do it. Where we get a kick out of it is when we do something new that surprises us both, and where we're nervous. I think you can always sense that if you're nervous, then it's good, right? If you when you're shooting the movie, if you're really nervous, if this is going to work, then it's you're in the right place. If you take the Danish films the last 20 years, there's probably made 400 films, and 350 of them are about families, because that's the only story we have to tell, because we don't have war, we don't have famine, we don't have, it's such a little, we don't have natural disasters. You cannot do a natural disaster movie. We don't have budgets to do a sci-fi movie. So we just have to, the only drama, nobody dies here except from cars. And so it's cancer and cars are the only two dramatic tools you have to kill somebody. And human relation stories, I mean, almost every good movie has great characters, right? And great relations. And we focus very much on that. I think that is also part of our success.